It's not Mahomes, it's not Herbert, it's not Derek Carr, it's not Tom Brady, Teddy Bridgewater. Good morning, good morning, good morning. Welcome to another episode of Hard Foul Radio. Appreciate you for tuning in today. This is the show that values time, so let's not waste any. So everyone in life, whether you do it just visually, whether you write it down, whether it's just something in your head, we all like to see where other people are at and think, I want to be there. And usually you'll put a time limit on it or a time frame on it. I want to be there in 5 years. I want to be doing that in 10 years. Tonight, you're going to see that. You're going to see two teams play, and one team's going to look at the other and go, I want to be where they're at next year. Understand the Jacksonville Jaguars record is irrelevant this year. It doesn't matter if they go 0-17. All that matters for them, can Trevor Lawrence play? And can we hit on 2 or 3 of our other draft picks? Now, unfortunately, Travis Etienne is injured for the year, so that's when you're going to have to find out next year. But when they get on the field tonight, they're going to look at the other sideline and go, oh yeah, that's what it looks like. That's where we want to be next year. Joe Burrow took about 2 games and it was like, okay, he works. Doesn't mean you have to think he's all world. Doesn't mean you have to think he's going to be the best quarterback in the league. They're going to be a top 5 team every year, but it works. Joe Burrow works. A couple of the draft picks hit. And while their coach you could still be iffy on, it looks like they're continuing to get better and better and score more points on offense with an offensive coach. That's where the Jags want to be next year. They want to feel good about Trevor Lawrence. They want to feel good about a couple of their draft picks. And they want to feel good about Urban Meyer being their head coach. The record doesn't matter. And I say the Joe doesn't have to be, and I think Joe Burrow has a chance to become a top 10, top 5-esque quarterback, but you don't have to be there to have success. Now, instead of looking at the Bengals and looking at where you want to be next year, let's look at the Bengals from about 10 years ago. Rookie quarterback, rookie receiver, a couple other draft picks. Now, they did have more coaching stability back then because they refused to ever get rid of one guy, but it didn't matter what the record was with the rookie. They wanted to see potential, and they wanted to say, hey, this works. That was Andy Dalton, the Bengals, 10 years ago. Yes, everybody would love to draft Patrick Mahomes, Josh Allen, Aaron Rodgers, Peyton Manning, Tom Brady, Drew Brees. Like, you would love to just draft these guys who turn into top 5, top 10 quarterbacks of all time or legends of the game. You'd love to do that, but not everyone gets to do that. But what everyone has the potential to do is be realistic with their goals and go, okay, that works for us. And that'll work and we'll win games. We might not win Super Bowls, but we'll win games. The Bengals are okay if Joe Burrow just wins them 10 games a year for the next 15 years. That will keep them relevant. That will keep them, they will be in the playoffs. You have a good run here or there. You get a couple more draft picks hit. Maybe you do break through one year. But understand, the Super Bowl is still, even in the NFL, it feels like there's more parity. The Super Bowl is still reserved for a select few and that high-end echelon talent. I saw a graph yesterday that showed the coaches that have won the Super Bowl the last 20 years. Nobody else got more than 1. Belichick has 6. So the Super Bowl is still, while we might think it's open, it's still reserved for a very high-end-esque level of coaches. And not just high-end coaches. You have to have high-end coaches with high-end performance. Andy Reid has always been a high-end coach, but he needed Patrick Mahomes to get through. Jaguars should look at tonight and go, you know what? It doesn't matter if we win this game. It doesn't matter if we win the next game. It doesn't matter any game we win this season. Does Trevor Lawrence work? Does Urban Meyer work? The Bengals are going into that game, and they feel like they can win, and they should win, and they should be 3-1 with a second-year Joe Burrow and a second-year head coach and an offense that is continuing to get better and feel like they are going the right direction. And that's what the Jaguars want to be next year. It's not often you get to start off with Jaguars and Bengals. Riveting stuff here at Hard Foul. So moving on to, it's not very often I get to talk about my favorite teams. And so when I get to talk about my teams and it's actually relevant to the sports world, just makes my day. So one of the most important games of the week is Denver and Baltimore. This is huge for a lot of reasons. Can Denver beat a good team? Denver's 3-0, their 3 opponents are 0-9. While Denver's beaten really bad teams, they've been dominant in those games. They shut out a team. They haven't given up more than 14 points so far this season. Only team in the league that's done that. Only no more than 14 points surrendered to any team. Teddy Bridgewater, who's been not only great in what is expected of Teddy Bridgewater. Teddy Bridgewater also has the highest completion percentage of any quarterback under pressure this season. Think about that. The game manager, Teddy Bridgewater, has the highest completion percentage in the NFL under pressure this season. It's not Mahomes, it's not Herbert, it's not Derek Carr, it's not Tom Brady, Teddy Bridgewater. Denver's got a lot of issues going into this week, but I still think it's a good week for him. No Jerry Jeudy, no KJ Hamler. Both their starting guards, while they are expected to play, they did get dinged up last week. They lost Josie Jewell on defense, Bradley Chubb on defense. They've already lost one of their corners. And even with all that, still have a great defense, still have a good pass rush, still have Alexander Johnson and linebacker, still have Tim Patrick, Cortland Sutton, Noah Fant, guys who can make plays at receiver, still have Garrett Bowles playing at an all-pro level at left tackle. And the thing I think I like the most about this week, the Ravens are coming off back-to-back emotional wins. That matters. It matters a lot. There's something my grandfather used to tell me about blackjack, and he used to have this counting card method, right? Where basically he was counting just high card, low cards. And sometimes he would get a really good count and he'd put money on the buster and it wouldn't work. But he was okay with losing the money because his high-low, he got an even better count than the first hand. If you ever go to a casino, there's a limit on how much you can play on a buster. And he's like, if I could throw I'd throw my mortgage at it. I'd put the whole house down on the buster. And it almost always hit. Because to come off one emotional win is one thing. And you could tell the Ravens game last week against the Lions, I think they're better than 1 point better than the Lions. But they were coming off an emotional victory against Kansas City. And now they're coming off another emotional victory against the Lions. Justin Tucker, the 66-yard NFL record field goal, all the excitement. They had to play a full 60 minutes back-to-back games. They're feeling real good about themselves, but this has been a lot that is taken out of them. Denver just crushed the Jets 26-0. It was just a normal Sunday. Denver did so well, they had backup safeties getting interceptions by the end of that game. So Denver's coming into this, well, yes, they do have injuries. They still have an offense under Teddy Bridgewater that's been super consistent, putting up points, a defense that's not allowing points, a great pass rush still with Von Miller, who looks healthy, best secondary in the NFL, and Denver, who has handled mobile quarterbacks better than the majority of teams. Cam Newton got released at the beginning of the season. Do we all remember the downfall of Cam Newton starting in the 2015 Super Bowl? That would be Von Miller and a great secondary. What does Denver have for Lamar Jackson? Von Miller and a great secondary. And Baltimore's coming off back-to-back emotional, big-time games, spending a whole 60 minutes to have to get through the game. And Baltimore has its own set of injuries. And if Denver goes to 4-0, I like this. I like this a lot. This is going to be a big game for Denver this week, and I think they can get it.